Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a powerful concept that many find both comforting and empowering: divine intervention and protection. It's a belief that when God decides to elevate you, no force, no circumstance, no obstacle can stand in the way. It's a truth that transcends our human understanding, a reminder that when God has a purpose for your life, nothing and no one can prevent it from unfolding. You see, life can throw us some heavy curveballs. We face challenges, hardships, and setbacks that can often feel like they're holding us back or even stopping us in our tracks. But here's the thing: when God sets His plan in motion, nothing, absolutely nothing, can undo what He's decided for you. The phrase, "when God decides to elevate you, no one can bring you down," speaks to this divine power in a way that is both profound and reassuring. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, even when we feel lost or powerless, God's will is unstoppable. Throughout our lives, we all face trials, moments where we feel like we're being held back or prevented from reaching our full potential. But it's in these very moments that we are reminded of God's sovereignty. He sees the bigger picture, and even the challenges we face are part of the plan to shape us into the people we're meant to become. When God chooses to raise us up, there's no force on earth that can thwart His will. That truth gives us hope, especially when things feel impossible. In this video, we're going to explore what it truly means when God decides to elevate us and guide our lives. We'll look at how His divine intervention makes sure that no external force, no matter how powerful, can stop His plan. By understanding this, we gain clarity and confidence in our own journeys, knowing that with God guiding us, nothing can prevent the blessings and success He has in store for us. So, if you're going through a tough time right now, or facing challenges that seem insurmountable, remember this: when God has a purpose for your life, no matter what you're up against, His plan will always prevail. Trust in His divine protection, keep your faith strong, and move forward with confidence. His plan is unstoppable, and you're part of it. Let's dive into this incredible truth together. One of the most comforting and profound truths about life is that God has a divine plan for every individual. The belief that we are not here by accident or random chance is central to understanding our purpose and the path we are meant to follow. Each of us has a mission and purpose in life that has been predetermined by God. God's plan for us is intentional, personal, and part of His greater purpose for the world. It's not just about what we do, but about who we are meant to become through God's guidance and love. When God decides to elevate you, it is a clear indication that you are walking in His will, moving toward your higher purpose. God's elevation of a person is a direct reflection of His plan for them, and it signifies that you are aligned with His divine design for your life. This elevation might not always come in the way we expect, or at the time we expect, but when it happens, we can rest assured that it is a confirmation that we are on the right path. God's divine plan for each individual is unique, but it always serves a higher purpose. Even when life seems uncertain or difficult, we can trust that every step we take is part of God's orchestration. The path we walk, though often filled with twists and turns, is never without meaning. When God decides to elevate someone, He is not just lifting them for their own benefit, but for a greater purpose that will impact others. Whether it's for the fulfillment of personal goals, serving others, or contributing to a broader mission, God's plan is always larger than what we can see in the present moment. Throughout our lives, God provides us with opportunities, people, and circumstances that are divinely designed to move us closer to the goals He has set for us. These divine opportunities often come in the form of challenges or unexpected situations. We may face hardships, but each one is part of the refining process that leads us to fulfillment. By experiencing struggles, we learn resilience, perseverance, and faith, all qualities that prepare us for the great things God has planned. In this way, trials and setbacks are not signs of failure, but are actually part of the process of preparation for the blessings to come. God's orchestration works in mysterious ways. We may not always see the connection between our current struggles and our future success, But there is always a purpose behind it all. It is in these moments of doubt and hardship that we learn to trust in God's perfect timing and plan for our lives. As He guides us, He strengthens our faith and refines our character, preparing us to fully embrace the future He has designed for us. When God has decided to elevate you, the protection and guidance you receive from Him are unshakable and unstoppable. God's plan for your life cannot be thwarted by external forces. When He opens doors for you, no one can close them. When He calls you to a higher place, no one can prevent you from reaching it. The protection and favor of God are the driving forces behind every success and victory you experience. And this divine intervention is what sustains you through every trial. Divine protection is not merely about physical safety, but about being guarded spiritually. When God elevates you, He shields you from the forces that might try to pull you down. This protection allows you to walk confidently toward your goals, knowing that God has you covered in all aspects of your life. His presence ensures that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Though there may be enemies who try to undermine your efforts or distract you from your path, God's guidance ensures that you stay on track. The more significant the elevation, the greater the opposition may seem, but God's protection is stronger than any force working against you. When God decides that you will achieve great things, it is a declaration of His will for your life. You are not walking alone on this journey. God Himself is leading you. When God opens a way, He not only makes the path clear, but also equips you with the strength and wisdom to walk it. Whether it's in your career, your personal life, or your spiritual growth, God's hand is upon your life, providing the direction and resources you need. No matter how high you are lifted or how many obstacles are in your way, God's guidance will always lead you toward the fulfillment of His plan. God's elevation is not just about positioning you in a higher place, but about preparing you to handle the responsibility and blessings that come with it. Just as God elevated Joseph from slavery to leadership in Egypt, or David from shepherd boy to king, He does the same for us. His plan involves growth, development, and spiritual maturity, so that when we are elevated, we can carry the weight of that elevation with grace and wisdom. No one can close the doors that God opens for you. The opportunities He places in your path are divinely ordained, and no human being, no matter how powerful, can prevent you from walking through those doors. Even when it seems like doors are being shut in your face, you can trust that God has a better door waiting for you, one that will lead you exactly where you need to go. Sometimes, God's plan involves redirecting us, and while the detours may seem frustrating, they are part of the greater purpose He is working out in our lives. One of the most powerful examples of God's protection and unstoppable guidance is seen in the life of Esther, a young Jewish woman who became the queen of Persia. Despite the dangers surrounding her, Esther trusted in God's timing and plan, and in the end, God used her position to save her people. When God elevates you, it's not just for your benefit. It's to position you where you can fulfill a greater purpose, a purpose that serves others and aligns with His ultimate plan for your life. When God decides to lift you, His divine intervention is the force behind your ability to achieve great things. No matter what you face, whether it's personal challenges, external opposition, or self-doubt, the intervention of God in your life ensures that you are prepared for and capable of fulfilling His plan. This divine elevation is not something that can be taken lightly or casually. It is something that requires trust, perseverance, and above all, faith in God's provision. Each step of the way, from the challenges to the moments of victory, God is actively working on your behalf, orchestrating everything to ensure that you reach the place of success and fulfillment He has destined for you. It is not by your own strength that you are elevated, but through God's powerful and unwavering support. When God decides to elevate you, it's not an easy path to walk. Along the way, you will undoubtedly face opposition and obstructions from the outside. These challenges may come from people who are threatened by your progress, or from circumstances that seem determined to keep you from moving forward. Whether it's through jealousy, envy, or even outright hostility, there are always external forces that attempt to stop you when you are walking in the direction of God's purpose for your life. However, when God elevates you, one of the most reassuring truths is that His protection is upon you. Opposition or criticism from others cannot change your path when God has already decided to lift you. No matter how strong the opposition may seem, when you are in alignment with God's will, He will shield you from the impact of negativity. This is not to say that there will be no struggles, but rather that you are supernaturally equipped to withstand the attacks and challenges that come your way. Throughout the Bible, we see countless examples of individuals who faced opposition when they were elevated by God. For instance, Joseph, when he was elevated from being a slave to becoming the governor of Egypt, faced tremendous opposition from his brothers, from Potiphar's wife, and even from the Pharaoh's court. Yet, despite the many challenges he faced, Joseph remained steadfast because he knew that God was with him. In the same way, when God elevates us, He ensures that no external force can ultimately derail our purpose. The challenges we face serve as tests of faith and moments for growth, but they do not have the power to prevent us from fulfilling our divine mission. People may try to undermine us, but God's plan cannot be thwarted. What others intend for harm, God can turn for good. Even in the face of adversity, God's unshakable strength and guidance empower us to rise above the negative influences. It's important to remember that God is our protector, and when He is for us, nothing can stand against us. The divine strength He grants allows us to rise above criticism and remain focused on the path He has set before us. One of the greatest gifts that God offers when He elevates us is His divine strength, a strength that transcends human limitations. God's protection doesn't just involve physical safety. It includes spiritual strength to overcome the negative forces of society that may try to pull us down. When God decides to elevate you, He equips you with the resilience and endurance needed to withstand the pressures of the world. Society can be a harsh environment, full of criticisms, judgments, and obstacles. The world may try to impose its standards on you, but when you are under God's protection, you are shielded from society's negativity. Whether it's the jealousy of others who don't want to see you succeed, or the criticism from those who question your decisions, God provides the inner fortitude needed to stay on your course. Consider the story of Nehemiah, who was tasked with rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah faced significant opposition from enemies who mocked him, plotted against him, and tried to stop his work. But Nehemiah did not let their negativity sway him. He prayed to God for strength and continued to lead his people with unwavering faith, knowing that God's protection would sustain him. Similarly, when God elevates us, we are given the courage to continue our mission, regardless of the obstacles or criticism we face. Divine strength is not just the ability to endure, it is the capacity to thrive despite adversity. God's protection means that even when the world seems against us, we are not defeated. We are not alone in our struggles, and we have a divine reserve of strength that allows us to keep moving forward. This divine strength also helps us maintain peace and clarity of mind, even in the face of external chaos. Additionally, when God is with us, He places people in our lives who can support and encourage us, providing us with the strength and encouragement we need to keep pushing forward. Whether through mentors, friends, or family, God will surround us with a network of support, ensuring that we never walk alone. When God elevates you, He doesn't just protect you from the external challenges, He also equips you with the inner strength needed to overcome the emotional and spiritual battles that arise. Spiritual elevation is not just about external success. It is also about growing in your faith and developing the inner fortitude to withstand the trials that test your character. Inner strength is the ability to maintain your peace, joy, and focus, even when the world around you is in turmoil. It's the spiritual resilience that helps you to stay grounded in your faith when things get tough. God's spiritual protection is not just a shield against external harm, but also an empowerment that enables you to rise above discouragement, doubt, and fear. One of the key aspects of spiritual strength is the ability to trust in God's timing and plan for your life, even when things don't seem to make sense. When you are elevated by God, He helps you see beyond your current circumstances and stay focused on the bigger picture. This is why those who are protected by God can endure difficulties without losing heart. They know that God is using their experiences to refine them and prepare them for the blessings that are to come. Consider the story of David. He was a young shepherd boy when God chose him to be the future king of Israel. Before he took the throne, David had to endure many trials, including being hunted by King Saul. Despite the many times Saul sought to harm him, David never retaliated or gave up. Instead, he leaned into his trust in God and his spiritual strength. This strength allowed David to overcome his adversaries and, ultimately, fulfill God's plan for his life. Similarly, when God elevates us, He provides us with the spiritual foundation needed to withstand trials and stay true to our calling. Spiritual protection also involves developing a deeper sense of self-belief and trust in God's promises. God's intervention gives us the confidence to face any challenge because we know that we are not walking this path alone. As we grow in our faith, we begin to see the trials we face as opportunities for spiritual growth rather than obstacles to our success. With God's help, we find strength in weakness, peace in chaos, and joy in adversity. Faith is the cornerstone of the believer's life, especially when it comes to trusting in God's intervention during times of trial, challenge, and growth. Faith in God's protection is arguably the most crucial element in the journey toward the success God has destined for each one of us. When you have faith that God is not only with you but also actively guiding your steps, it changes the way you approach every obstacle. You no longer see challenges as setbacks or failures, but as opportunities for growth and maturity. At the heart of this faith is the belief that God is in control and that His plan for you is perfect. Even when things don't seem to be going as planned, life can be full of uncertainties, but with faith in God's plan, you can be certain that nothing in your life is happening by chance. Every setback or hardship has a purpose, whether it's preparing you for greater responsibility or teaching you patience. Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger in your faith. Faith in God allows us to reframe difficulties as part of the divine process of growth and preparation. The obstacles that seem insurmountable often serve as stepping stones toward the greater things God has for us. When God decides to elevate you, the journey is not always smooth, and there will be times when fear, doubt, and uncertainty try to take root in your heart. However, your faith in God's guidance will provide clarity and strength in these moments. Faith provides us with the mental and emotional strength to face these challenges with confidence, knowing that God is orchestrating every part of the journey for our good. It empowers us to see the bigger picture, helping us to trust that God is working all things together for our benefit, even when we don't understand why we are facing certain difficulties. It also shifts our perspective, making it easier to see how each challenge is shaping us into the person we are meant to become. Through faith, we understand that God uses adversity to prepare us for success, not just for personal gain, but to serve a higher purpose in His kingdom. For example, when Moses was called to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, he faced overwhelming challenges, including resistance from Pharaoh, doubts from his own people, and the daunting task of leading a large group through the wilderness. Yet Moses' faith in God's plan and God's intervention was the foundation that allowed him to persevere. Despite his fears and uncertainties, Moses trusted that God was with him and would make a way where there seemed to be none. Through this faith, God was able to use Moses to perform miracles and fulfill His promise to His people. Perseverance is deeply intertwined with faith. While faith is the belief that God will guide us, perseverance is the active, persistent effort to continue moving forward despite the challenges that arise. When you are walking in God's plan for your life, there will undoubtedly be difficult seasons. These seasons may feel long, frustrating, or even hopeless at times. But perseverance, fueled by faith, allows you to keep moving forward, even when it seems like the journey will never end. God has a good plan for everyone, but this plan does not come without its challenges. It's important to understand that while God's plan is full of blessings and success, it is also a plan of refinement and growth. The process of getting to the destination requires patience, determination, and most of all, perseverance. Just because there are obstacles does not mean you are not on the right path. On the contrary, the road to fulfillment is often marked with difficulties, but each of these challenges is shaping you for something greater. Perseverance is not about simply getting through the tough times. It's about growing through them. It's about maintaining the belief that God is faithful to His promises and that despite the temporary struggles, His plan for your life is moving forward. Perseverance requires holding on to God's promises even when you can't see the outcome or when it seems like things are not changing. It's about staying committed to the journey, trusting that God's timing is always perfect and that His plan for you is unfolding exactly as it should. In Romans 5:3-4, Paul writes, "We rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope." This verse encapsulates the essence of perseverance. It is not the absence of suffering, but the strength to endure and the character that is developed as we go through it. When you persevere through challenges, you develop a deeper trust in God's faithfulness and a stronger belief in His plan. When you face opposition or feel discouraged, it can be easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. But as you persist and press forward, you begin to see how God is using each moment to mold you into the person He's called you to be. Perseverance often brings out qualities in us that we never knew we had, like courage, resilience, and patience. And as you keep moving forward in faith, you begin to see the fruits of your perseverance in the form of spiritual growth, personal breakthroughs, and eventual success. Take the story of Abraham as another example. When God called Abraham to leave his homeland and go to a new land, He didn't give him all the details. Abraham's faith and perseverance allowed him to continue trusting in God's plan, even when he didn't understand all the steps along the way. God promised Abraham that he would become the father of many nations, but the fulfillment of that promise took years of waiting, enduring hardship, and remaining faithful. Abraham's perseverance through the uncertainty of life is a model for us all, demonstrating how persistent faith eventually leads to the fulfillment of God's promises. Similarly, David's journey to becoming king was a long and challenging one. Anointed by God as a young boy, David had to endure years of hardship, including being chased by Saul, the reigning king. There were moments when David could have chosen to take matters into his own hands, but he remained faithful and trusted in God's plan. His perseverance in the face of adversity ultimately led to his elevation and the realization of God's promises for his life. When you persevere through trials, you eventually reach a point where the blessings God has promised begin to manifest. These blessings are not just rewards for enduring. They are the fruit of the transformation that has taken place in your life. When you stay faithful and persist through the trials, you are not just becoming the person you were always meant to be, but you are also becoming the vessel that can hold the blessings God has prepared for you. God's plan always includes growth and elevation. It is through perseverance that you are equipped to handle the blessings He has in store. It is through enduring the difficulties that you develop the character and maturity needed to embrace the great things that are coming your way. When you trust in God's plan and persist through the tough seasons, you are building a foundation strong enough to carry the weight of the blessings that God has ordained for you. In conclusion, faith and perseverance are the twin forces that propel you forward when God is elevating you. Faith in God's intervention ensures that you trust in His guidance and promises, even when the road is hard. Perseverance enables you to keep moving forward, even when the challenges seem insurmountable. Together, these two qualities form the foundation of your journey toward the success and blessings God has destined for you. As you walk in faith and perseverance, you will find that God is not only leading you to your destination, but is also transforming you along the way. Trust in His timing, and remember that with each step, you are growing, maturing, and becoming more ready to receive the great things He has prepared for you. Stay steadfast, and know that in His perfect plan, the blessings that await are worth every moment of perseverance. When God decides to elevate you, no one can take you down. Every challenge, every opposition, is simply a part of the journey that serves to clarify your divine purpose. These obstacles are not meant to defeat you, but to help you grow and prepare for the blessings that God has already set aside for you. Trust that each challenge is a stepping stone leading you toward the fulfillment of God's greater plan for your life. No matter what difficulties come your way, they cannot stop God's plan from unfolding in your life. As you move forward in your journey, trust in God's plan and keep walking the path He has laid out for you. Even when the road seems uncertain, remember that God's purpose for you is unstoppable. When you fully surrender your life to Him, you will discover that great blessings are waiting for you. Blessings that will exceed your expectations and bring fulfillment to your soul. Keep the faith, be patient, and remember that God is guiding every step of your journey. If this message has resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiration and encouragement. By subscribing, you'll join a community of believers who are focused on growth, faith, and perseverance. Trust in your journey, and remember that when God decides to lift you, no one can bring you down. The trials you face today are only making you stronger and bringing you closer to the wonderful things God has prepared for you. Embrace the challenges, stay faithful, and trust that your best days are ahead.